Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with King David. We're here at Wayward Coffee Shop in Dallas, and I thought this very first time that we do an interview, we would do it with Preston, my middle child, sort of middle child. He's right above Keely.
Like a kind of middle child. I'm basically the oldest child.
Yeah.
What's the spice? What's the tea? Huh? What's the tea?
What's the tea?
Yeah, what drama are we talking about?
This is some kind of secret word.
Yeah, it's what you get them hooked in the video with, the drama, the tea.
Okay, we're going
to shorten those intros by like 30 seconds.
We're going to ask Preston some questions today.
Q&A?
Do a Q&A. Y'all have had sent comments, and so we picked some of those out of the crowd. And here we are today. We're going to ask Preston these questions for you guys.
I'm ready. Also, now Instagram has Threads. It's their Twitter competitor, so you can also get comments off that. King David will be on Threads, and he'll be using Threads. And by him, I mean he will be living vicariously through his producer.
I heard about Threads on the way here. That's Mark Zuckerberg thing. I don't trust it.
Dad, Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook, which is where this is being posted.
I know it.
And Instagram. He owns Instagram too.
I heard about it in the news on the way here. All right. Coffee with King David. Okay. How did our approach, Mom and I, to you wanting to be a YouTuber play a part in your motivation, your drive, and now your success?
Well, I think whenever I said I was going to try to do YouTube, you guys said get a real job first. So I had to have a real job simultaneously while trying to pursue YouTube.
Right, we wouldn't let you just play.
But I never got a real job.
Well, you had a real job?
Negative. Not during the time span when I was actually trying to make YouTube content.
Oh, yeah, it was before.
I did apply. I mean, I kind of like lied and went to the parking lots and then just sat there and was like, this is stupid. But I still respected you for that decision.
Lied to who?
You and Mom.
This is the first I've heard of this, Preston.
Yeah, look, we're not gonna. Dad, what do you want me to do? Go work at Chick-fil-A whenever I could like put more time into other things?
Yes, you got a belt.
I had money saved up. Why would I need to do that? I already had money saved up, so why would I need to go get a real job?
Okay, but you did have a real job. You were not a scuba diver, not a
lifeguard,
not a fisherman, lifeguard. You were a lifeguard.
But that was not during the time when I was pursuing YouTube. I was 15 and 16 with the hourly lifeguard job. And then I started pursuing YouTube seriously at 17.
Right.
So during that time is when they wanted me to have like an hourly job. I couldn't find one.
Do you remember when you first said, I'm going to do YouTube, what me and Mom did, our response?
Do you remember?
I remember.
Oh, yeah? Okay, really?
Mom goes, I went, no, like that, because you were studying to be a doctor. Remember? You were watching all these films on...
I was excited, but I mean, I had pretty poor grades.
We were like, oh, he's going to be a doctor. We're going to have a successful doctor. And if that would have happened, we'd have never seen you. Anyway, hardly.
So that was your knee jerk?
But that was my knee jerk. I was about ready to grab you and say, no. But Mom goes, wait.
Let him cook.
Like a good wife, good mom. And she said, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. So we prayed about it, and we felt the Lord telling us, well, go ask him a question. So I went and asked you a question. Remember the question?
What was the question?
Or I asked you to prove me. So I said, prove to me you can make some money, and I'll let you do YouTube.
I was making money through other avenues online, and
within a month, you said, look, Dad, this is my bank account. You had $1,000 in your bank account.
That was from a different online endeavor. YouTube did not make a single dime for like 6 months.
Yeah, it was something else, but
it was something else.
You tricked me good.
I did get you pretty good. I was like, look at this PayPal. I had some. I was selling.
Look at this PayPal.
I was selling online gold in a video game.
Really?
Yeah. So I was selling online gold in a video game.
The truth is revealed.
I think all of this was revealed, but I don't think you guys understood the internet 15 years ago that well. I think it was difficult because you're like, PayPal. Is that like, what is that? And I was like, it's my bank account. And you're like, it's not a bank account.
Yeah, right.
I ain't Bank of Texas. That's not a real bank account.
Right.
That's a good knee-jerk reaction. I probably would have done the same, to be fair.
All right, let's move on to question number 2 here. Okay, let's narrow it down a little bit. What does family mean to you?
What does family mean to me?
Maybe I want to know these.
Am I Dom Toretto?
Maybe I'm checking on you.
Family.
Dom Toretto.
You know,
is that from Fast and Furious?
That's from Fast and Furious. You know, when he goes family to everything. You didn't see those memes? They're so good.
I just went to Orlando through the Fast and Furious
Yeah, did you have fun?
Ride. Oh my gosh, it was so good. You ride on a giant bus with a whole bunch of people. There's cars, motorcycles, and helicopters.
I think an easier thing, if you really want to go into the family aspect, is that it's more so of not building a legacy for me, but it's building a legacy for other families, including my own, to build off of. So if I can be almost like this modular developer that builds the digital version of Rome, that then leaves the tools for other people to use so they can succeed, that would make me very, very content. Starting with my family first is almost like a beta test to see how they use the tools, and if they can be successful with them, then I'm sure other people can as well. But there's also a lot of people that are not actually family that end up becoming like family, which I find to be really interesting as you get older. I'm sure you've probably experienced this. But it's definitely like the mutual respect of understanding where your parents come from, or your aunts, your uncles, the people that are genuinely trying to help you and grow you and mold you. Because I know a lot of people can be hesitant to that type of stuff. Wake up, we got to go to church, we got to go to this event, we got to do this. And I loathed it as a kid. But now I realize there was a lot of importance inside of those things.
Yeah, critical importance.
Definitely some critical importance. Not everything. Not everything. Yeah. It's okay. Welcome. Hey, your parents and elders are going to be wrong. All right, get ready. They're not perfect, but they are
You're
trying.
blowing this answer.
What do you mean? They're trying. But it's true.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The parents, nobody's perfect.
Isn't it crazy? Parents are literally learning how to be a parent while they're being a parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to give your parents grace. So they mean well, but it's not always going to be perfect. But I think the best types of parents are the ones that are willing to listen as well. And you and Mom always listen whenever I was trying to ask questions about difficult things. It was never like, it's my way or the highway. Sometimes it was. But there was a lot of times where it was open for discussion and debate. So I could fully understand why or provide a potential better solution.
What keeps you motivated to create?
I think it's just you love what you do, right? I love what I do, and so I just keep doing it. I've never understood the opposite. Also, the best people in the world are not motivated, okay? They're disciplined. Very big difference, right? I mean, we got back last night from our shoot at like midnight last night, so obviously like I wasn't looking forward to getting up at 7 a.m. and reading my Bible and then obviously coming here. You know, you could still see, I guess, start at the morning in my voice, right. You know, and we still have other things to get done, but the people that really move the needle in this world are the people that are truly disciplined, and that's the difference, in my opinion, between like a savant, like Leonardo DiCaprio, or somebody who's very consistent and disciplined like The Rock. I think YouTube is very competitive, which is really, really fun. But it's also way past that, because now, you know, these digital creators are no longer just creators, they're also entrepreneurs. You know, you have Feastables, which right now is like Walmart's fastest growing confectionery brand ever. So it's really exciting and stimulating. I'm sure you've seen Prime Hydration with KSI and Logan Paul. So if the competition grows, naturally you want to keep up. Your appetite grows. And so now you're not just competing for content and likeliness, but you're also competing for business development, growing and scaling a sufficient team that is a first string team that plays and synergizes really well with one another.
Without giving any secrets away, are you moving into the area of other types of marketing other than subscribers and
I think that would be
merch?
That's definitely the future, because at some point in time you have enough eyeballs, right? Like we have 500 million views a month, and that's enough eyeballs. Like obviously you want to continue to grow the eyeballs, but we have the eyeballs, so there's no reason that we wouldn't go into business development for certain types of consumer products. Snacks and hydration are like really easy ones. I mean, obviously if I slapped Fire Fuel in a can, I'm sure people would be excited to buy it. It's a cool brand, and if they know Preston, I think they would also get excited.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a great idea. All right, what advice would you give to parents of upcoming YouTubers and the next generation of YouTubers?
The next generation.
What advice would you give them?
Well, there's always like the standard advice, but I think it's really cool. YouTube Shorts, really great place to start, get your practicing in, and then also creating content that you find interesting and fun, but that's also being consumed by a large mass of people. We call this the Goldilocks zone. You can't be making videos that you only enjoy that nobody watches, or making videos that everybody loves watching but you don't love making. You'll just burn out. Yeah. So it's really studying the data and focusing on the data. Build something that's more sustainable and more exciting. It's a hard one to give though, because it's very different on what they're wanting to do with their content. And for the parents, it's also the same thing as well. I mean, if they find that to be interesting, maybe they don't even understand YouTube, to be fair. It's really not hard though these days with ChatGPT. I mean, just ask, what should I do if my kid is interested in YouTube? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of where we're at right now in this modern day society.
The most thing I run into out there with parents and people that I run into that said, oh, you know, they find out I'm your dad or whatever. They said, my child wants to do YouTube or was interested in
I think it's
YouTube.
the same thing as like, oh, my kid wants to be a fireman and you're a fireman.
Yeah. And so I
You just give them broad replies?
I just tell them what happened. And I said, I told Preston when he started, show me you can make money. So if your kid can show you he can make some money and enjoy doing it, you know.
YouTube's going to be really hard though for most individuals because it is something that you have to be extremely resourceful with. And even with something like OpenAI's ChatGPT, it's still going to be very difficult.
Right.
It's going to be very difficult. You have to be incredibly disciplined and you have to be resourceful. If you're not, you will not figure out how to crack into your niche.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just going to burn out because it's a constant grind. It's an absolute constant grind.
Right.
And it's super, super fun, but it's just, if you don't love doing
It's
it.
work, yeah. It's just
And it might take years. I mean, it was like what Mr. Beast had like 3 years of uploading content before he made anything. Took him ages to build an audience. So if you have that type of patience, discipline, go for it. If you don't, stay away.
So what, and this is off script, I have no more questions here. So what do you think is the most important thing in your life that keeps you motivated, and not just motivated but disciplined? If you could name one thing that was the most important thing that keeps you motivated and disciplined to continue putting, what's the word I'm looking for, videos out there for people.
I really like this statement I heard, and I can't remember where I heard it, but it stuck with me. But it's a moment waited is a moment wasted. And so I think I probably have ADHD undiagnosed. I've always gone and felt like I've had a motor attached to me, and this could just be a huge blessing from God. Everything's going to be a double-edged sword to an extent, because then you can't sleep because you have such a hyperactive mind, and you always want to go all the time, which allows you to be always excited, motivated, and disciplined.
So that's working for me right now.
Well, see, I will have 6 cups of coffee a day, all doubles, and I don't feel anything. So it does. I don't know. I don't know. But I really think that there's something more exciting about if you have this finite amount of time on Earth, which you all roughly have about the same amount of time. I'd like to live till I'm 120, as much as possible. But I really want to build something. I don't even care if my name's on it. I just want to build something great. I've always wanted to do something great, and I want to build something great. Not necessarily for myself, but just hopefully for my family and the future generation that would like to also utilize it.
That's why I write the songs the Lord gives me.
I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, what else am I going to do? I mean, obviously, like, I have more money than I ever could have imagined I would have. Yeah. So, I mean, I could just retire right now, but why? What's the point?
Right.
That's so boring. The more money you end up getting, it's just more of a hassle to end up managing anyways.
Yeah.
So it's much more fun to be excited and passionate about the things that you're working on and the people that you're working with every single day.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna affect them and the future generations, and hopefully in a godly way, right?
Always.
Amen.
Yeah, always.
All right. Let's play a little game here and do a switcheroony on me, and he wants to do like let the guest ask the question. So, what's gonna happen?
Who's your favorite kid?
Now see, he said it.
No, you can answer that one in your 5th episode.
Hey, all you boys can handle it. Keely knows who's the favorite kid.
That's so dumb, just because she's the only daughter.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was actually going to ask is, what do you want to do with what you're currently doing right here? Like, what is your big goal and ambition?
We talked about that before we started, didn't we, Jesse?
So I know you're posting consistently. You've got an amazing producer and director, Jesse, right now that's working on all the content. But what do you think what audience are you trying to reach?
I'm trying to reach not just the children, the subscribers that subscribe to you and your demographics, but I want to reach the parents too. And I want to reach the young parents and let them know that hey, the world is changing where you grow up and you get a job and you work this job till you die. It's changing to so much technology and things, and young people are adaptive to that so quickly with all the stuff that they have, and there's so many fields. There's editors, there's creatives, there's production. There's so much involved, and you yourself have how many 100 employees right down the road here. So, and then worldwide, you have employees all over the world that work with you remote. So there's so many jobs and things that families can do, and a lot of parents don't know that, and they think I got to raise my kid to be a doctor. I got to raise him to do this or do this.
Okay, so you're wanting to go against like the norms.
Yeah. There's so much more to do in this world now with technology than it used to be in the old days, where you just grow up and get a good job.
Okay, so you want to reach the audience, the core audience, which will watch anything that we post out. Thank you, by the way.
And the parents.
Well, right, but then you reach the parents, but your message is a little bit more education, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more educational for the parents.
Like yours is a lot more for fun and content and slap happy, good time, and it works. It helps. The stories I read most of all from the people that I run into out there. Preston helped me in my childhood. He helped me get through this hard time. His videos, man, they helped me. I want mine to help kids and parents to get through hard times.
What split do you think that's going to look like?
And to learn to work together on their future.
What split do you think that'll look like? 80-20? 80% parents you'll reach, 20% kids? Do you have like a preferred demographic?
It'll probably be the opposite. It'd probably be closer to 75% kids.
You think so?
25%.
What do you define as a kid these days?
I just don't know that parents are going to go, unless the kids go, hey, Dad, watch this video of Preston's dad.
What do you define as a kid these days?
I don't know, up to about, that's a good question, up to about 14, 15.
Oh, it's like 15 so kid basically. I'd say anything under 20 to be honest, Brad.
Yeah, once Josh hit 16, he was a complete full adult. Yeah, we just let him go.
Still on my insurance plan too. Not me being a little salty. No, I'm just kidding. So you want to reach that type of audience, and then what does that core messaging look like? I mean, because there's only so much you can talk about, like, hey, there's other opportunities outside of YouTube for your children or your grandkids or your nieces or nephews. I mean, it's oyster's more vast, or are you just going to kind of figure that out as you're going?
Kind of figure it out as I'm going more. I don't have a direct.
Are you going to read the data?
The main direct purpose of this channel is faith, is to let people know that, hey, if you stick with God, God's going to stick with you. If you stay faithful to the Lord Jesus, He's going to stay faithful to you. It's over and over and over.
He was good, He is good, and He will be good.
All through the Old Testament, all through the New Testament. You stay faithful to the Lord, He's going to stay faithful to you. And a lot of people they don't know that. They haven't heard that. They don't even know. They're in a world where you don't hear it at all. A lot of them, you know. So people need to hear that, you know.
I agree.
So
they need to hear that. Now, will you be looking at the data for your content? This is a big one. I should have given this advice. We're going to insert this.
I went from 715 to 716 just yesterday. Yeah, 715 people to 700.
No, you got to look at the data.
It's moving up.
You got to look at the data, my guy.
Yeah.
Will you look at your data, your retention, your watch time?
Yeah, sure. If you show me how. What is retention?
Depression. That's what retention is. It's depression. When it's low, but when it's high, dopamine.
Dopamine. Quit doing dope. I told you quit doing dope a long time ago when you were.
Well, dope doesn't give dopamine, so.
Okay. Especially don't do the dope that's mine.
Dopamine, yeah. Dopamine. I won't take your dope. I won't take your dopamine.
We just had a last minute thought here. That we might add one funny thing about whoever we're interviewing here.
Okay, and what is this funny thing?
I'm going to do a one funny thing about Preston. Y'all know Preston got bit by a spider one time right there in the left shoulder.
What? Was it there?
He was 11 years old.
I thought it was in my butt.
No, he was 11 years old, and it was right there, and the doctor went in and he put all his gauze in there and he said, okay, in about a week, just pull that gauze out and he's going to be fine. About a week later, it was like pulling a roll of wet paper towels out of his chest.
Is this a funny story or is this a gruesome story?
Mess. Gruesome. We just saw...
Lesson learned, guys. Don't let spiders bite you and make holes in you.
Yeah. Don't let and the brown recluse especially.
Yeah, it turned out that having holes in you doesn't make you holy. It just makes you infected.
Well, thanks for coming and enjoying this time with us this morning, folks.
Coffee floffy.
coffee, floppy. Folks ain't a good word. That's an old person word. I'm a boomer.
Yeah,
You know how many
gamers.
jokes I get about boomers?
Thanks for coming out, gamers. This is Preston. This is the Gen Millennial with the boomer. Maybe you call it boomer coffee time.
Boomer coffee time.
But not boomer coffee time, because we're training you to be a millennial. You're gonna get up there.
Listen, Preston loves you guys, loves you subscribers and all you fans out there, and we're so thankful for all of you. I am, and hope you enjoyed this time with King David this morning. Coffee with King David, and our first
Episode, right?
episode, but what's the word? First interview. Hope you enjoyed this time with Coffee with King David this morning. Our first interview with Preston. I wanted to bring him out first so y'all wouldn't have to wait and wonder when Preston's coming.
You should have, though. You gotta kept baiting him.
I know. I couldn't bait it. I wanted to do the opposite that most people do.
Dang, look at this.
But it's
Not
okay.
clickbaiting. He wanted to deliver right away.
Somebody way prettier next time, probably. He's gonna have long red hair.
I was gonna say it can't be Keely then.
One of the greatest puppies in the world.
So Bree?
She got a cat.
Yeah, but you said
that cat
pretty.
that
But
you
you said
love.
pretty.
Anyway, but maybe next time we'll have Keely or Caleb or maybe even Josh for you guys out there. I just came back from Orlando with Josh and his Nationals volleyball tournament, which he did really good in. And we had a good time in Orlando. But we're back. We're back with Preston this morning.
We're back in black.
And we're thankful for him.
Eating chicken in the sack.
Subscribe
For more gamers.
for more.
This is your tight, that's your wide.
That's my wife.
That's your wide, that should be your tight. But he did rack out a little bit, so I know.
What he said.
Please follow Dad. Yes, thank you. So we can take over the world, please, and we can get our Netflix documentary signed.
Take over the world.
So we can become the Christian Kardashians. That'd be
Yes.
pretty sick. We're gonna be the Duck Dynasty, but YouTube edition.
Yes.
Thank you, Netflix. We'll just take 100 million up front.